Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel once again. So it's been a long time coming. I haven't had the chance just to sit down really to be able to do this. So I put out on Instagram questions people wanted me to answer. I get asked questions quite a lot, and it's quite nice just to get it all on camera really and just sort of move forward with it. But it's nice, I love having sort of the response from you guys. It means you're engaging with us, and at the end of the day, you guys are why we do this. So if we aren't pleasing you, then there's an issue, isn't there? So thanks once again to everyone that is just curious with a question. Thanks once again people that are asking what's happening, are we doing stuff, what do you plan for the future? So we received a lot of duplicate questions, so I've narrowed it down to 15, so top 15 questions that have been answered, and I thought I'd run through and just answer them with you. So anything else you want to know, drop in the comments below. We'll do a part 2 maybe if there's more people that want to know things, but I picked out what had come up and what I received, and yeah, without further ado, let's crack on with it. I've got a good old brew too. So let's just kick off. I was asked this one quite a lot. First car, well, it was a Mini, but what Mini, I guess. My first car was a 1979 classic Mini. So it's an 1100 special, 20th anniversary car in silver, black vinyl roof. Fell in love with it, absolutely adored it. It was the first car that I really got into Minis with. It's the first car I ever sort of took a spark plug out of and felt it was an achievement. I got that car just as I turned 15, so obviously nowhere near age of driving, but a good friend of mine, Rob, who I'm still in good contact with, we live opposite ends of the country, but I got him to blame for really to get into Minis. He was always restoring them near where I lived. I always used to cycle past or kick a football around near them, and I got hooked. I got hooked from a young age. That being said, my granddad used to have them as well, so I guess it's probably in my blood maybe, but yeah, it's my first car was a 79 Mini 1100 special, but to me that's a bit of an open-ended question as well, because the first car I ever drove was a 1990 Mini Racing Green limited edition. So two ends of the spectrum, first car that I drove or first car that I owned. I had three Minis before I could even drive. So yeah, go figure. But yeah, that answers that question. I was asked that one quite a few times. Next question, favourite weird or unique looking car? Now I actually quite like this question. It's quite a hard one to answer, and the car I'm going to say might not be weird or unique to anyone, but I find the styling incredibly out there for its period, and today they almost look odd but you love them. And that to me is the Ford Econoline van. So it's a very weird one out there, I guess, but it's an American van. I'll drop some pictures in a second. They made it in a pickup form and in a van form, and to me it just looks so odd, like how it sits on the road, it's such an odd looking vehicle. Like it overhangs both wheels. I always see it on TV, and the headlights and everything, I just find them really odd to look at, but I'd own one all day long. Big old V8 in one, that would just be cool. So I guess it might not be weird for everyone, but I find that quite a weird looking car. I've always found the design very odd, but to today's standards we'd relish, from the boring stuff we have on the road these days, we'd relish seeing something like that. I just think it's way ahead of its time. So I guess put it out there if it's weird or unique, but it's definitely unique in my eyes. But yeah, so that answered that question. So this next question I found a bit odd. It was Mini Super Leggera ? Basically based on the MPI, so I think what they're getting at. I had to Google it. I didn't actually know what it was. It's actually a concept car, so a Roadster Mini basically is the easiest way to describe it, and I will drop a picture in now. Would I ever do one of them? No, because it took me a lot to buy the MX-5. Convertible cars and have never really been my thing, but yeah, it's quite a weird one. I think for it to be different, then I'd probably give it a go. If you had an accident damaged car or a car that was heavily corroded in the roof, chop it all off, be different. There has been some classic Minis made into Roadsters, and I think that is quite a unique thing. But would I do one? Probably not. It's just not my thing. But yeah, a very cool question, and very out there really. But yeah, it's quite a cool thing to think about, because it was never made. Mini convertibles, they made the Rover limited edition, the Lamb convertibles, and then obviously there was coach built Minis. But yeah, I quite liked that question, so thank you very much. My favourite car I've done on the channel. Okay, hard one. So I've done some cars on the channel, and I've been involved with some cars on the channel that aren't mine, obviously. They've been friends' cars and things like that. But my favourite car on the channel has got to be the Budget Clubman. The favourite car I own is a different question, but favourite car on the channel has got to be the Budget Clubman. For me, it kept me busy through lockdown. I learned so much off it, and it's been sold to someone that adores it as well. So my favourite car on the channel, so far anyway, has got to be the Budget Clubman. L'Oreal or VO5? You all know who's asked this question. If you haven't already, go back and check the sidewall videos. I'd have to say it'd be VO5, mate. Favourite colour Mini? I had to give this one a bit of thought. So my favourite colour Mini, the ones I own now, is actually quite a tough choice. So the car that I love the most for its colour is my Mini Sidewalk. Kingfisher Blue. It's beautiful. It's metallic, it's stunning, looks different in the sun, looks different in the dark, takes a really amazing nighttime photo. I'd have to say that's my all-time favourite colour of a Mini, just because I've owned two of them now, and there's a reason why I obviously keep going back to them, and there's a reason why I would never say that I'd ever colour change that car, because I absolutely adore it. Yeah, Kingfisher Blue. Will the Volvo be a drift car? Simple answer is no. The Volvo won't be a drift car. The original idea for the Volvo, and it's still going to stick with me now, is I want a shop car. I want a big estate that can haul car parts around, hopefully take some merch to the shows, the upcoming shows, but be a bit enjoyable and tick a car off my list. So no, it won't be a drift car. It's capable of drifting, but no, I'm not going to strip it out and make it a drift car. So apologise if that's what you're after. Best classic Mini supplier? This is a tough one because it depends what you're buying. But if I had to pick an all-rounder, it'd have to be Mini Spares. They do everything you need. They're competitive on their prices. Their genuine parts are great. It can be argued, loads of people use different people. I would name a few. Ball Motive are great. M Machine for panels, spot on. But if I had to pick one place to go and buy everything from, it'd be Mini Spares. Why an MX-5 or Unos Roadster? Why is quite a big question, actually. It's a car that I've always wanted to experience. It's a car that I've always wanted to drive, and I've wanted to get into jump cars for a long, long time. But I've also had the stigma, and I've never needed a little car. I've always had minis, so I didn't need another impractical car. The MX-5, real reason is drive it. Just drive one. You don't need to answer the question to anyone else once you've driven one, in my eyes. From a kid playing Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, I always loved them. I always thought they're cool, they handled well, they were great cars on the computer game, and to be fair, they drive like that. So why a Mazda? That's the reason. They're just fun cars. They are great. You've got to experience them, and if you haven't had a car pop up headlights, you've missed out on life because it's so cool. Yeah, it's going to be a fast road track car. That's the plan for it. There is a lot coming on that car very soon. So yeah, it's because I wanted to have one and ticked it off the list. My favourite car. Now this was a question I was asked quite a few times. Favourite car? It's a really hard question. Obviously a Mini, because I love a Mini. I couldn't answer this, so I have to give you my top 3 cars of all time. So not in any order. Classic Mini of any sort. I enjoy all the classic Minis. 67 Shelby Ford Mustang GT. The Shelby 500 Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds has to be up there, but not really an achievable car, I guess, but my favourite car. And then the third one, I'd be quite stuck with. My other bucket list car has been a Volvo Amazon estate. So if I had to pick 3 cars to be my favourites, really weird cars I know, all in different directions, but they'd probably be my favourite cars. So a bit of Swedish metal, bit of American muscle, pure British classic. So I couldn't answer, I couldn't just pick one, guys. I'm sorry for the people asking that question. What current model car or modern car would I think would be a modern classic car very soon? I had to have a bit of think about this one, because anyone that knows me personally knows I don't particularly like new cars. I don't particularly like modern cars, hence why all my cars are all older than 20 years old. For me, I think, again, it's going to go back to a Mini, the new Mini van. So they made it after the R56 Mini, and then you had the Mini Clubman with the suicide opening door. They made a Mini van, which was basically just vinyl down the glass, big back seats gone. I think that's going to be a classic car because it was a flop. It was useless. No one really wanted it. They didn't make many. And I think they're going to become a very, very sought after car, just like the classic minivan, but for different reasons, because it was a bit of a sham. I personally really wanted one when I saw it coming out, and then when I saw all they'd done is done that, I was a bit disappointed really, and I kind of switched off from new minis after that. But I think that would be a practical modern classic car. So I couldn't think of any others really. Why do I hate later or injection classic minis? I was asked this question. I'm obviously not named any names of any of these questions because I feel like there's no need. You know, if you've asked the question, if you're watching a video. I don't hate them. I don't. I hope I've not portrayed that. Do I prefer an older Mini? Yes. I'm not going to hide from that. I prefer an older style Mini. Always have done. I don't hate newer Minis. I own a 95 Minis. That's 5 years from the end of production. So I don't hate them. I own one. But would I own another one? And would I buy a later Mini like an MPI? I wouldn't. Personally, they're just not for me. It's not because I dislike them. I think they look great. I think they drive really, really well. But if I had to pick between that and an older Mini, I'd buy an older Mini. Both are appreciating at the exact same rates. But I don't hate them, guys. I wasn't offended by the question. But yeah, I hope I don't portray that. I want to point out the facts that a later Mini is problematic with rust. And I would truly believe, because I've been through it a lot myself, electrical problems with a later Mini are a problem because you can't get the parts for them now. A lot of the Rover stuff is completely gone. All the second-hand stuff's being taken up. So it's not that I hate them, guys. I just prefer an older Mini. Is merchandise coming to the channel? Yes, guys. I ask myself this every single day. Me, James and Sam are working on this behind the scenes. The problem is we can't put a lot out. We can't go and talk to suppliers because of lockdown and COVID. It's proven very difficult. We're not going to go mad with the merchandise at first. We do just really want to get some stuff out there. We've got some cracking ideas. I know James for a fact has been working on stuff this very week. We've got some designs flying around. So merch will be coming, guys, and when it does drop, we will obviously tell you. We will be wearing it in videos. We will be using it, and we will be advertising it. So when it comes, guys, we'll tell you. But thank you very much for your patience. Appreciate it. We have got stickers available. So if you go onto our website, you can purchase one of them. But other than that, we are redesigning the stickers completely. We are designing t-shirts and loads of other little bits and pieces coming. We are also working alongside with Frost with a few things as well, which will coincide a little bit of our merch. So it's coming, guys. I do apologise for the wait. Will the 89 be coming back to the channel? Yes. The good old lad sat here. Not changed since you saw the last episode, basically. We've got panels lined up for it. That's a big thing. It's going to take some time. This is the biggest job that I've ever taken on. And it probably will become a favourite car, I guess, at the end, because it's a sentimental car to me as well, not just my other half. It's coming back to channel, guys. Like I said, panels are lined up for it. For me, at the moment, I changed my jobs in mid of last year, and a lot of my free time's gone. So I'm struggling to get on with stuff. Obviously videos slow down a little bit, and I appreciate everyone that's still following the channel. It's not going to be forever. Once things settle a little bit and COVID clears, we will get back on track and we'll be smashing out videos again. But once the MPI is done, basically, is my response to that. Because after that, I've got no restoration. What am I going to use my disc cutter for? I need to use my disc cutter. So we'll cut this one up. To be fair, apart from the back panel, everything's cut off it now. But we've got loads of work to do on this car. So yeah. It's definitely coming back to the channel. It's what started the channel. So I will never ever not have it on the channel. Final question was best classic Mini restoration tools. What would I advise and what would I buy? A good set of hammer and dollies, I would say. Proving that with the Cooper and with the Budget Clubman. I got bought them many years ago. I haven't really had to use them until I've really got into restoration in the last sort of 4 to 5 years. But now they get used a lot. Panels are awful these days. Whether you buy genuine or not, nothing fits first time. So a good hammer and dolly kit would be my suggestion. A good welder. Don't have to spend thousands of pounds on a welder. There's some really expensive and absurd welders out there. A good welder. A good just set of normal hand tools, guys. Just get yourself a load of spanners and screwdrivers. Not difficult cars to work on. Everything's nut and bolts. they're quite simple. Later minis, obviously, again, I don't hate them. Later minis, there's more to them, but they're still nut and bolt, screwdriver, get everything off you need. But I think if I put out them, and if you've probably not noticed, something I've wanted for a long time, a good workbench, just something sturdy to work on. But I think if I had to pick one tool or a set of tools, would be a hammer and dolly kit. If you're embarking on a restoration, you've got to have a good hammer and dolly kit. But to list a few tools that I think you're going to need, because this coincides with kind of another question I was asked, so I thought I'd just rattle it off in this. Good angle grinder. Saying that, mine's from Aldi. It's cost me 20 quid, I've had it 5 years, run out of warranty, still gets battered every day. No, I don't have a guard on it, but I do have a guard for it. Good angle grinder, a good drill, whether it's cordless or whatever, just a good powerful drill. Good set of drill bits. Spot weld drill bits is a very, very handy thing for a classic mini. Obviously, going back to the hammer and dollies, definitely have some of them. And I'd also just make sure that you yourself and in your garage are tidy. I can't stress as much as it is, and it's dangerous working on cars, especially with cutting discs and stuff like that. If your workspace is messy, and I feel very messy with my current situation because I'm stuffed into a tiny little garage working or on a driveway, you've got to keep sweeping up. Housekeeping's a big thing, guys, because you're going to kneel in stuff, you can hurt yourself, and at the end of the day, if you're hurt and not being able to work in your car, then what are you going to do? I would definitely say that would be my tips. But if I had to pick a set of tools from here, or a tool that I would use, it would be my hammer and dolly kit. So guys, that brings me to the end. That's 15 questions that I've been asked a lot, and that I've got asked when I put out that poll on Instagram. Thank you very much for everyone's taking part. You know who you are. I have not mentioned any names because I just, you know you've asked the question, and a lot of the questions were duplicated, like mentioned. I hope this hasn't bored you really, and I hope it's given you a bit of insight into me and what I like and what I want to do. I'm genuinely very, very passionate about classic cars, and I hope that comes across in the channel. It's not that I dislike new cars. We will have some newer cars coming to the channel. If I say new, they're never going to be like brand new cars. It's just not me. But the idea of Simpsons Classics, going right back to the beginning, and if you could go and watch my introduction to Simpsons Classics, and you can laugh at me as much as you want, the channel is always going to be classic minis, moving into practical classics and just general cars. It's been named Simpsons Classics because it's me and my classics. James, Sam, and loads of other people contributed to the channel. It's become a community, it's become a hub for us to, between a group of us mates, to just build our cars. And I hope that portrays to you guys. I'm not saying I'm going to stay on one brand or not. I've been predominantly classic mini, and I will always have a big classic mini kind of channel. It's going to be minis. I've got my minivan, which anyone knows me, it's my bucket list car. You know, I've always wanted to have my bucket list car, my minivan with you know, the big engine and stuff like that, and people won't agree with what I'm going to do with it, but just coming to the channel. Yeah, I just can't thank you guys enough really for support, and I hope you can appreciate the direction we're going in. We are currently running with a few different brand cars now. The Volvo, I've been asked a lot, and I've had a lot of new followers on Instagram because of the Volvo. It is not for everyone. I appreciate that. Not everyone likes what they call a granddad car or an old person's car, but if we all like the same thing, the world would be incredibly boring. And it's you got to appreciate what I want to achieve with my personal life. Is I want to tick off all the cars I want to own. So moving forward for the channel is also a kind of a bonus question. What can we expect for 2021? Not a lot right now. Current lockdown, but we've got some stuff planned. We've got quite a few road trips planned. We have booked tickets for IMO Italy, so the sidewalk will be going to there, so there's going to be quite a bit of preparation work going on that. To be fair, we've done a lot. Well, Sam's done a lot, and so is James, but there is quite a few things still to do. She's just passed her MOT, but she'll need a lot of work for that. So we're going to hopefully go to Florence in Italy, so I will obviously vlog that completely because that's going to be a fun road trip, but that's going to be a big thing. That probably be that car's last long voyage for a little while because it needs some mechanical TLC. Not with the running gear now because that's all up to spec, but the engine really does need to come out. But that's definitely planned, so there'll be a bit of engine work and a road trip. Me, Sam and James and Tony have all got plans for road trips, as in the UK. There's a few old kind of routes around the UK that used to be kind of classic car rallies or classic car routes, and we kind of want to retrace some of them. That's definitely going to happen, and we'll obviously vlog all that. Restoration wise and car wise, the MPI, we're doing the front end, we're going to do the sills, repair the floors, put a door skin on it, and then it's going to go off for paint and then be enjoyed. So that's going to be part of the channel for this year. The 89, the big goal for the 89, and obviously with the support of you guys, it's going to be amazing for that, is to have it painted underneath, fully welded up, shell obviously restored and painted, and I know, I guess I could finish it by Christmas, but I'd like by summer for the car to be sat back on the floor, on its wheels, rolling around, on stop frames, painted, so me and my other half can just build it and enjoy it. The goal has changed a little bit for the car. It was do all the work, get it on the road, drive it, but we've gone this far now. It's getting a brand new engine, it's getting a brand new interior, it's getting everything. It's having new wiring, the lot. It's going to be, I'm not going to go around and say a concourse car, it's going to be a new car. It's going to be great, really. It's going to be one of the best cars that I've ever achieved, hopefully it's going to show. Paintwork wise, it's going to be obviously Night Fire Red. That's going to be pretty difficult for me because I've never painted metallic, but it's going to be another learning curve. If I didn't have anything to challenge myself, there's no point doing it. So that's coming to the channel. So we've got 2 restorations, obviously the work on the sidewalk I mentioned, the Unos Roadster, what we've got going on that. Full roll gauge, I say rear roll bar and door bars, full suspension, geometry setup, all new bushes and shocks and coilovers, full exhaust system. That's what I want to achieve by the end of this year. I have had the idea of blowing it over again with some fresh paint because it's about 5 different shades of white and it's bugging the hell out of me. But it will be a budget job. I might not even film it. I might just flat the whole car, mask off everything and paint it. It's not going to be a concourse car. That is literally, I want it one colour. And a few cosmetic things are happening to that car as well. Then moving into next year for that car, I would like to turbo it, but this year it's going to get a full exhaust system, new manifold for now, and just leave it and drive it naturally aspirated. The Volvo, get on the road, enjoy it, daily it, bring it to the channel, boost around, enjoy it. I've said that twice, but I love that car. And we've got the Midas coming back to the channel because that's hopefully going to have a bit of a twist soon. And we are going to try and get Tony's car on the channel as well, Billy. That's a cracking little mini that. It's had a lot of work done over the last lockdown, and I think it'd be really nice to document that car because Tony himself has owned that car. It's his first car. And also, it's a car that's home brewed, and it's another bit of a thing like I do. You can do it all yourself at home. You just need to have the nous or wants to do it. So I'm definitely going to try and get that car on the channel. That team's got loads of road trips like mentioned, but who knows? I haven't bought a car in 2021 yet. So I'm 2 months in and I've not bought one. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So catch you in the next one, guys. If you haven't already, please go and check out our sponsors in the link description below. Merchandise is on its way, so I won't plug that yet, but do that. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment below if there's any other questions you want. If we can do a part 2 Q&A, that would be awesome. But yeah, stay safe, guys. Look after yourself, and I hope what we can bring to you from Simpson's Classics this year keeps you engaged with us and keeps you excited and brings you the joy of classic cars as much as it brings us. So thank you for supporting us. Catch you next one.